Oh no. Okay, I clicked the wrong button. Hello everyone. Welcome to the show. Today we are talking about the new movie, Smile 2. And I said, do your evil smile face, and you're doing a weird frown.
Because a smile turned
Yes.
upside down is a frown. What is
I
that?
don't know.
That looks like you ate a lemon and farted at the same time. All right. We're not going to watch the trailer on this one
Why not?
because we watched this trailer 735 billion times. We're going to
All
treat
right.
this like Speak No Evil. We're not
Okay.
watching the trailer on this one. If you haven't seen this trailer, then you haven't been to a movie in God knows how long.
All right. So
I do not want to see the
basically,
trailer for this
it
again.
started with Smile Part 1, which came out when?
Mm-hmm. If you look at my review, it says
Came out in 2022. Basically, this girl,
she couldn't stop smiling, and so they
she
killed her.
saw someone kill themselves.
She was a therapist, wasn't she?
No, this is the girl. Then she goes to the therapist's office.
The
therapist
yeah,
is a different one. And the therapist starts to investigate what's happening because she begins to see things too. And being a therapist, she knows she ain't crazy. So that's where we get this.
That's the girl that killed herself at the therapist's office.
Yes.
I always keep
Not
it
the
up.
therapist.
Yeah, I always mix it up. The therapist is the star of the movie.
Yes.
But this is the girl that gets the promotion.
Yes.
So that always stole my
She
brain.
starts it all.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in the first one, we find out it's some sort of
it's like a
pathogen demon thing. It's similar to like It Follows.
And It Follows.
It Follows. It's like it goes from
something
one to the
attaches
next.
and it gets passed on.
Correct. And then you got to try to figure out if
It Follows is more like a
disease.
Yeah, well, it's very much like
sexually transmitted disease.
It is. It's like I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for. Metaphoric horror to a sexual transmitted disease.
Yes.
Which I haven't known It Follows coming out.
I'm so excited.
So.
But this is much more in the vein of like a
supernatural.
Is it Samara? Which is the one we had to watch the videotape?
That's The Ring.
The Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something like that. Is that Samara?
Yes.
Okay.
Not Samara Weaving, but yes.
Samara. Yes. No, Samara out of the will. Anyway, so it started with Smile, and now we are.
And I like the first movie. Okay.
I'm
not a
I'm
huge
a fan of the first one.
I rewatched it. I'm like, it's fine. It's kind of slow.
I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it enough that I wanted to see the second one, but at the same time, I was like, I didn't. I'm glad it did well because it was something different.
Yes.
But I never fully. It felt like it takes forever for anything to happen. Like it starts strong, and then it's all that build up time. And this is a big reason I'm not a fan of possession movies and haunting movies a lot of times because they take forever doing it because they gotta have that one thing move, then a few things move, and then you gotta go.
It feels like it has to tell you a little story.
Yeah, and then you got to go through the case and nobody believing them. And I'm like, and I know that's what the formula of it, but I just get bored.
That's
I'm
a
like,
formula.
And because a lot of these movies feel like they're too long, but that was a good DOC reference.
Thank you.
Even though you didn't know what that was.
I don't know who
you
it
just
is.
know that song.
Anyway, so now we're to Smile Part 2.
And the problem with Smile Part 2 was, again, like Speak No Evil, they kept showing the trailer every freaking week.
We got tired of it.
Now, I know some of that is also the fact that we're at the theater.
We go to the theater probably maybe once, at least once a week, if not twice.
So, but when you see the trailer, they were pushing the shit out of this movie. But I found the trailer for this movie at the beginning of the time seeing it way more interesting than the first movie.
Really?
Yeah, it immediately made me interested in seeing where they were going to go. Where the first movie, I originally had no interest in seeing it. Like, I'll watch it. I knew I would eventually.
Yeah.
But I was like, it looks okay. And then I saw it, and I'm like, I enjoyed it. It was fine. But I was never like, I love that movie. I can't wait for them to make another one. So when they made this one, I was like, oh, good, they're making another one. And I saw the trailer. I'm like, okay, I kind of like the vibe of this one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's because this one seemed bigger.
Yes.
Initially.
Well, because she's on a larger scale stage, pop star, so it feels like it's a bigger movie in itself.
Yeah.
Yet it focuses really just on her and her story.
Yeah.
A bit.
And so we got this fun little limited edition poster at the theater for Smile 2. Here it is. It's a city that's upside down.
There you go.
Yet it's right side up, but it's in the shape of a smile. There you have it. These were at AMC. They just had them on the counter, so if you want one, you can go get you one.
Go grab one.
While supplies last.
Yeah, like we don't need it now. We've shown it. We can move on. Okay.
So the
Tell
latest
me about
one.
This.
So this next one starts pretty much where the last one ends.
Exactly.
It's a few months later, maybe, or something,
Yes.
or weeks later, or something. So the final scene of the first movie, the person that's affected by that final scene, because I don't want to spoil it in case you haven't seen it. It picks up directly with them and kind of what they're doing to try to get rid of it from them to pass it on. And so basically to pass it on, did you already say how to pass it on?
Yeah.
To pass it on, you have to, somebody has to witness you kill or somebody die.
You have to kill. Okay. The way you get it is because you saw someone kill themselves, so it passes to you. Then that person goes crazy. They kill themselves in front
Or
of
they
someone
have to kill somebody
Or
else.
We found out in the first movie. Well, spoiler alert. Should I put up the thing?
No, it's fine.
I don't have it anyway.
Doesn't matter.
If you want to get rid of it completely, you have to kill someone, but someone has to witness it, so then it goes to
Yeah,
them.
that's what I was talking about.
There's a
To pass it
trauma.
on away from
They
you.
have to see the trauma of someone dying.
Yeah,
basically.
so and then in theory, if you kill yourself, it would stop it completely. But in theory, the way this
like
actually
if
works,
you kill yourself in front of and no one.
yeah, then it would end. But being kind of a I don't want to say it's a demon, but some sort of
a demon,
evil spirit-esque
pathogen
kind of thing, it could probably just immediately go to wherever it wants and keep going forever.
Yeah,
so there's no stopping it.
It is a demon.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying it's that kind of thing that like even if
supernatural things are at play.
It's one of those things that no matter how much they figure out how they can stop it, it can probably pop up somewhere else wherever it wants.
Exactly.
So it is a good formula for making these forever.
Yeah.
And you don't have to continue it. You can just do whatever you want because this person had it too, and they can make a small reference of, well, I remember a story about this person. Well, how'd you end up with it? And then and this one, the way this new one ends, it opens a door to a lot of stories.
Oh yeah.
If it goes in that route, but also there's some gray area of not really following some of the rules.
Would it really follow that rule or not?
Yeah. No. So I will say that I actually liked this one better than the first one. I think because I didn't feel this one was as convoluted as the first one, and I think when I say that, the first one wasn't convoluted in a bad way. It was just bouncing around through so many people and characters, trying to not only explain the story, but I think keep it fresh in who it tortures and who it's affected, that it felt like I could never really stick with it enough to where I was like, okay, we're going to do this again. This one, it has a little bit of that at the opening, and then it just tortures this one person for the rest of the movie. Right? She is the one being
singular torture.
Yeah, made to suffer for the whole, and she was fantastic in the movie.
She did really good.
Yeah, I didn't realize who she was until after the movie.
Yeah, I was like, why does she look familiar? But it's
because she's from Aladdin, right?
She's from the live action Aladdin.
But there was another movie
where she had darker hair.
There was another movie that I just saw that
Naomi Scott.
Oh my God, it's on now.
I don't know. She was in
She's one of the new Charlie's Angels. But that wasn't. Oh, she was in Power Rangers. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. She was the Pink Ranger.
Yeah, in the remake. And so when she came on the screen, she does like a little intro at the movie, say thank you for watching or whatever.
Yes.
And of course, she's very English. And I'm like, oh, I think she was in the first movie because she had dark hair, and I thought she was the other girl at first. And I'm watching the movie. I'm like, why is this other girl must be connected? I'm like, oh wait, that's her. Jesus Christ.
It's her.
Because she got really short blonde hair. She looks nothing like.
Yeah, normally she has darker hair.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And I actually really liked her hair in this. I liked her with the short hair. I think it looked good. I'm not usually a big fan of the short hair.
Yeah, I like it. I thought it was cute. And I was like, man, I wish I could do short hair like that, but my face is too long, I think. And like,
man, it's not too long. You just.
I think compared to my body, my head's too small to my fat body.
You have a huge forehead.
But that's why if I had little spiky, like wispy things.
Yeah.
Anyway,
before we end up in a
wow. Wow.
One of the things that I give this movie credit for is there was a few elements that I had thought it was going to do, and it didn't do, and I like that because it threw me off. There was also some stuff that I thought wasn't handled well enough. And when I say that, it's not a way that I think messed up the film or didn't explain itself, but I think it left some ambiguous moments where if you miss something or if you didn't fully catch it, you're gonna be like, what in that but I think it's at the same time it does work.
It works.
So it's not so bad that I'd be like, oh, that makes no sense. If you understand what I mean.
I know what you're saying.
Like I'll just say this without spoiling.
Okay.
There's a moment at the beginning that kind of sets this tone of where this movie's gonna go. It leads from the guy from the last movie to this new person, which then leads to her. So we got a tier of 3 people, right?
Yes.
We know who the person is, and we know that how they're affected and why they're affected, but they don't really they make it look like they weren't there to witness it. So then it doesn't make sense why but if you sit and listen to pay attention to the scene now, we understand because the assumption is that's how he got it. But the way the scene is played out, he was like, it's like he didn't see anything. He was sneaking out. He even says, I didn't see anything, so there's too many variables there, I thought, that could have easily been solved by saying he was looking and watching, or he walks in the room as it happens and you see it. It would have been a very simple fix. But I think there's a gray area there that makes it like.
I just rolled with it and I'm like, yeah, it makes sense to me.
And
you like to question me.
It wasn't a question so much. It was just like.
You wanted one line of clarity.
Yeah, because I think the line they used messed it up for me. Because he was like, he said something because I didn't know anybody was here, and he goes, and I didn't see anything either. I was coming in, and so it made it sound like.
I think he was like, I didn't see anything. I know. See anything.
I agree. That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's how it came off.
I gotcha.
And so I think that kind of messes up my initial like, how could it have passed on to him? But you then use your own brain and be like, clearly he did see it, so that's why. Anyway.
All right. Well, I like the first one better. I don't think I like the convoluted list. I like the mystery of it. It very much follows your patterns of your rings and smarts of like, how did this happen? Let's investigate. Let's figure out. Let's trace it back to the beginning, because that's how my brain works. That's how I function, is like connecting the dots. So I like that process. And yeah, there's a lot more characters to deal with. I felt like this, like, well, how long can we follow this one little girl? But
we're watching her descend into madness.
That part I like her version of what happens and what we're seeing in her brain. I like this version better because it's more provides more explanation than the first one, where they're just crazy seeing people random. Like hers is like.
I felt like the first one. Like I said, I liked that they were taking their time to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's what I prefer. I want the story to build. I like the mystery, like you said. I think I felt like, because they invested so much different mystery and so many the characters, so many directions, that it kept going in and out of what they were trying to build, that narrative and build this universe, if you will, that I never fully got invested into it.
Gotcha.
Where in this one, now I know how it works.
I really enjoyed just her.
Yeah.
And seeing her story and her slow descent into madness, and then it kept us gassing the whole time. But then also you see she has some existing trauma she's dealing with, but that's what we saw in the psychiatrist lady too.
Yeah, but I see that's why I think this one worked better from a story standpoint, because in the first movie there wasn't as a heavy as a trauma.
Yeah.
So when people start acting completely different, like if you start acting crazy, I'm not going to know the difference.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. So if you start acting completely different than your normal paranoia and your normal behavior, I'm going to be like, what is wrong with you? Something's going on.
Yes.
I'm not going to immediately go, you're just stressed.
Well, no, and that's why I told you this week, I'm like, if I tell you something's following me that you can't see, you better.
But you always say stuff like that.
Okay, but you
think a sniper was going to get us at our house?
I don't know, but you better believe me.
So where in this new movie, because of her multiple layers of trauma,
like she was already kind of cray-cray.
Yeah, she had drug issues. There was an accident issue. There was a PTSD type trauma.
People already thought she was one of those crazy celebrities.
It makes sense for nobody to believe her.
Correct, which is unfortunate.
And so I think that made it
creepier.
Made you feel her frustration, because she knew they were justified in not believing her too, but they used the idea of celebrity and fame, and then all the typical things you find out, dealing with celebrities when they have drug problems or their traumatic experiences,
or just these celebrities,
or just life
that are mean to everyone and entitled and all that.
And I love they use moments like autograph signings or the stage performances or things like that to feed on that the narcissism, paranoia. But also the paranoia.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't.
And that one creeper.
Yeah. Can I also say I love that they didn't make her initially like that bitchy, stuck up performer like a lot of times they do when they make superstars.
Yeah.
In movies, a lot of times, I know real life there are some, but she's very much a Taylor Swift type character who's kind of fallen and she's building her way back up. But they don't make her someone who doesn't appreciate her fans. Or she's trying to do the right thing, and then of course she's being shoved into this stuff. I also like that the moments we get are very violent and bloody, and there's some twist to them. They're not just straightforward like you see most of the time.
And then I want to just shout out to whoever all these extra words. Some of them have to be contortioning people.
Oh yeah,
that are like.
I wasn't sure how that one scene they showed in the trailer when all of them are coming down the hallway.
Yes,
the one
and they're all
redheaded
like-
girl looks like she's trying to hold everybody back, but they're all going.
And they're like
to choreograph that scene, but also chaotically just let it happen.
Yes.
Had to be hard.
And then there's
And they're all on top of each other and all over the place.
in the first one, there's the older lady that has to just casually walk over a couch and make it look so seamless. In this one, there's tons of people walking over furniture and countertops, and it has to look just easy. At one point, I'm like, parkour. Because
I didn't even hear you this time.
Yeah, because one guy just like casually like, jump up on a counter and hold and be like,
Now I will say there's a couple of moments that
difficult
that I don't know if they worked great from a standpoint of like, especially like some of the final act, where I know we're supposed to believe a lot of it happened in her head and then it shifted to this moment. I wish there would have been a little more explanation for that, but also wasn't needed.
Yeah, you just roll with it. At this point, you think she's completely psychotic.
Yeah, but I like the direction they went with it, and then I loved the ending. There is a supernatural element that steps up way further than the first movie that might lose some.
Yeah.
With what she sees.
Yeah.
Some people may think, okay, you've taken the mystery of it.
It's similar again to the first one, but a little more over the top.
Yeah, but I think part of that is the case that they probably got more money and could do.
Correct.
It's the same writer director, so it always makes me wonder, was this the original vision?
Yeah.
You know, and couldn't afford it the first time, so this time we did it again. But I was able to step it up. I don't think it hurt anything. I actually like where they went. So as a whole, I really did enjoy this movie more than the first one.
I liked it. I thought it was great. There you go. Smile 2.
Let's look.
In theaters now.
While you're doing stuff, let me look and let's see how it did this weekend.
Okay, tell me. I can put it up in here maybe.
Looks like it was #1 at the box office.
Oh, wow.
Let's see. So originally, the first movie was originally supposed to be a streaming-only film, and it got everybody released. It really well. Apparently, it's doing really well. Let
me see it.
Outgrossed its opening weekend, made $23 million.
23. I have it right here.
With a budget of 27, so it's a solid thing.
If it breaks even, that's good.
Could be the first big franchise it says since Paranormal Activity.
Oh wow.
I'm trying to look. Somebody else says, with her playing a Taylor Swift style pop star.
That's exactly what she said.
Says, given the ending, he may return for a 5th film with a broader scope. Trying to see. Hold on, I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, your movie's up there in the top 3.
Oh, Terrifier held on for looks like for 3rd place.
It's #3. Wild Robot.
It knocked Terrifier down.
#2. I really want to see that. We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
We can buy it on the line now.
Already?
Yes.
That's surprising.
Looks like it's available to buy and watch at home. Anyways,
it's a fun flick.
Check it out.
If you like the first movie, I think you'll like the second one. Although I have had people that loved the first one and thought this one didn't have the same magic. And I've seen other people that felt this one was way more.
I liked it.
Disturbing and terrifying.
Yes, it is. The interior paranoia descent into craziness is more terrifying, but I like the combo. I guess they go well together.
Either way, they're great. It's a great little franchise that has a lot of options, and the ending does lend itself to a massive franchise if they decide to go big and keep making different things with it without having to close the gap on anything.
Yeah.
But again, it does keep that gray area that they follow the rules that they set in the first movie, because there's some things I can see a lot of people could argue the points of it didn't follow the rules that we set in the first movie, but were there rules?
Mm.
So, but she's fantastic in this
really
movie.
Good.
She is so good. She's kind of hot too.
Okay. Well,
that isn't no bearing on her acting performance.
Not at all.
She's just a good performer.
All right. Tell me about the movies we have giveaways.
We also have some digital copies that are probably going to run out here this week of Deadpool and Wolverine, as well as some more new Twisters they gave me again.
Are these hard copies or digital?
These are digital copies for those
Twisters?
two. Twisters and Deadpool Wolverine are digital copies. They're almost gone. Horizon Chapter 1 and A Beast Within are both physical copies of Blu-rays and or 4Ks.
Nice.
As well as The Watchers and Exhuma that are also physical copies of 4Ks or Blu-rays.
There you go. All right.
And hopefully there's some new stuff coming this week.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you later.